stay in the studio. Let's stay in the studio. All right, here we are. Mic check 1, 2. Gucci. Camera's good. We good on everything. Let's get it cracking up here. Let's go. Give y'all a minute to come on. Since we live, had to push time back. I'm here, Mon Frères. What's up, Emmy? It's about to go down. Stay tuned, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the viewers on here, man. I don't like this one. Truth Therapy Thursdays. We about to get it live. Let's go. We about to get it popping. Coming for some heads. we coming for scalps. Yeah, man. Coming for scalps. What's up, Crystal? Don't mind me. I've always done this with Twizzlers. I don't smoke at all, but I always hold the Twizzlers and eat it like a cigar. I just do that. I don't know why. I have no real good reason for it. That's just me. So I put down. That is just how I get down. We better get to it in a minute. Let me go ahead and hit the drop. Let's go. Tap that screen, man. Get everybody coming. Get them involved. We need some more viewers so I can kick this off. Homies, let's go. I know y'all can't hear me in the headphones, so if you wonder what I'm doing, putting the drop on for the record. Let's go. We're about to kick this off. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, homies and homettes, children and babies, creatures of all kind, what it do, what it do. Welcome to another version of Man vs. Machine. Let's get it popping. So, today's version, we are talking about distancing yourself for poor-minded people. I'm not talking about poor people financially. Has nothing to do with money. You know, you can be poor and be rich in other ways just because you broke financially, you know. But you can be rich and have a mental poorness. Examples: Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. It was a meme the other day, which is funny. So, it was a reel going around. My man, I forget his name, but he was talking about how they rich and they got a SNAP benefits mentality. Crazy part, a lot of people that's on SNAP got more sense than them rich folks that y'all see out there, right? So we are not talking about your financial status, but that mentality plays into your financial status a lot of the times, unless you are an industry plant or you have these athletic abilities that can get around that, or some type of other talent that can get you around that. But what will bring you down, oftentimes, more times than not, is having a poor mentality, right? So you can be rich because you want to be, right? But if you have a poor mentality, it's going to bring you down at some point in time. And this is what you're seeing now. Now, I know a lot of times on here, especially for the last week, I've been giving Cardi and, if you watch my page, I've been giving Cardi and Stefon the business. So I ain't going to talk about them because I haven't seen them too much in the media this week after their Super Bowl crash or breakup. But people in general, placing yourself around poor mentality people will destroy your purpose. That's actually what I should have called this. I'm gonna say it again. Placing yourself around poor-minded people will destroy your purpose. It's a painful experience, right? How do you identify poor-minded people? Well, poor-minded people complain a lot about situations, but they rarely do anything about it. Say that again. Poor-minded people complain a lot. They do a lot of barking. They do a lot of talking. But when it gets down to the action, they don't do anything about it, right? And a lot of the times what they'll do is when they do take action, they'll take an action that makes their situation worse, right? So I posted something earlier, and it's not because I'm going to do anything like I've got beef with somebody or somebody's talking crap or something like that. But I said, and I had to think about this, and I was watching. There was a fight out here in Toledo, and Chuck E. Cheese, right, at a kid's birthday party. Two individuals beat up someone, put the guy in the hospital. Now everyone's in jail. That has something to do with it. I don't know what you could be fighting over at a kid's birthday party, right? But number one, the town they're in is a suburb of the city of Toledo, Sylvania. And Sylvania don't play. It's like if you're from the Detroit, Michigan area, you know not to go to Redford, so to say, or go to Westland if you're from Inkster, right? Or if you're from Ypsi, to go to Ann Arbor. There's a high chance and a high probability of you going to jail for some reason if you go to certain places in certain suburbs outside of major cities, right? This is one of those places. They're not going to play with you when they get your ignorant butt there. So, whatever they were fighting for in the Chuck E. Cheese couldn't be worth having the case, right? The dude is in an induced coma that they beat up, so now they're facing felonious assault charges. And if you know anything about Toledo, the legal system here is not good. It's really a way to railroad people and get you in worse situations. They don't even care about the facts or the evidence around here. And once they got you, they got you. Don't get in trouble in Ohio. So, whatever they were fighting over wasn't worth anything. It wasn't worth the guy getting beat up as badly as he got beat up. It wasn't worth them going to jail and catching cases for. But that's poor people mentality. Not even a poor people mentality. It's a poor mentality, right? Because, again, you see these rich folks, and I got to be careful how I say this. You see these rich folks that are in leadership in the United States, right? And they are, the best way to put this, with these files that we're talking about, the E-Man files, the EP files. Hope that isn't even close enough to trigger something. So the EP files, right? You see these people with a poor mentality, right? A poor-minded mentality. But that's not about money, right? The poorness and the lack of empathy, human decency, cognizance to doing right, just evil, right? What they've done, destructive, murderous, right? That mentality. They're rich, but they're doing wrong. So, as rich as they are, billionaires, they've been exposed because of the poor mentality. And then you see that trickle down when you see, how do I put her name? The DOJ leader, she sits in front of Congress and tells all these lies, right? And then you see some in Congress respond to her on the same level, right? So you have someone lying about some treacherous acts that they should be in jail for or going to jail or on their way, but your only response was to belittle and talk down on the level, right? But you didn't get any action out of it. You didn't get anything that's going to mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to the survivors. It doesn't mean anything to the people that suffered at the hands of these people, the people that was fed to sharks or incinerated or decapitated and raped and murdered and all these things, right? You sit here arguing back and forth on a poor mentality level, right? So when you surround these yourself with these type of people that have a poor mentality, right? Or bum mentality or a perverse mentality, you're going to destroy your purpose, right? All the good that you could have did, should have did, was destined to do can be destroyed by surrounding yourself with people with poor mentality. So why do we do it? It's a few reasons. In relationships, a lot of times we let pretty override the fact that this person is poor mentally, is causing us pain, causing us drama. Ladies, y'all let handsome override the fact that this person is a complete headache. They have no heart for you and they have no will for you. Then, on the other hand, outside of relationships with family, we let family and friends, right, be dysfunctional because this my homie, this my brother, this my sister, this my cousin, whatever, right? But they don't mean nothing to you. And every time you come back around these people for these reasons, oh, I love her, I love him, oh, that's my dog, that's my girl, that's my bestie, that's my B, that's my N-word, all these things, right? You come back around them, and it may go good for a while, but it always comes crumbling down. Why does it keep crumbling down? Because if you're trying to elevate, people with a poor mentality are going to bring you down, right? And again, like I'm not talking about finances, right? Finances are just a microcosm of it because, like I said, you can be rich and still have poor character and a poor mentality. But at certain levels, if you're trying to elevate spiritually, mentally, these people want to feed off you like parasites. Parasites take from you, and everything that they give back to you is toxic. Parasite poop is toxic. What was that? Parasite poop is toxic, but they eat everything in you that's beneficial, right? So the parasite feedings off you, right? It's taking all the good things it can get out of you and it's giving you back garbage. It's giving you back shit, right? You can't see those parasites because they're inside of you, right? Unless you poop them out or you look through a microscope, you don't see them. But there are even bigger parasites in your life doing the same thing because some of them are the same size as you, a little, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit bigger, right? But they're in human form. But they do the same thing that the parasites in your body do. They take from you and they give you nothing, right? But shit, they take from you and they give you nothing but toxicity. And just like a parasite, they're in there and they come in the form of things that's good, right? So you go get the snack from the grocery store, right? You don't realize there's parasites inside of the meat, parasites inside of the fruit, but you're getting it. You're getting it from unhealthy spots, and then when these things get in you, they come just like the human form. They come in the form of fun. They come in the form of sex. They come in the form of a good time. They come in the form of all these toxic behaviors. And once they get a hold of you, right? That's when you see the bad. Oh, it's fun to go out and do this. It's fun to go out and party. But now you're not paying your bills. You're neglecting stuff. You celebrating being mediocre or even less, right? If you're not where you at. And sometimes when you are successful and you get outside doing the wrong things, those same parasites exist and they bring you down. Do you know how many people, if the DOJ would do their job, would get pulled inside of this web? We talk about it all the time, right? How celebrities have to initiate themselves in certain cliques, clubs, those things. That we talk about that all the time, right? They come with good intentions. You're going to be rich, you're going to be successful, right? And then when they get it, the price to pay is the ultimate toxicity because we talk about soul selling and rituals and initiations and all these things, right? But it came in the form of something good, right? It came in the form of something good, but now it's toxic and it's bringing down what we truly tried to do. Same thing. on a smaller level, on a level of non-celebrity or just the average person, right? You got all these goals, you got all these plans, you got all these visions. God showed you were going to do this and you wanted to be that. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to have this, right, that. And do you notice that most of the people that make it, they had to separate themselves from the people with poor mentality? The people that were bringing them down, no matter how they love them. That's where you get the term, you can't leave us behind or leave us in the hood or leave us here or leave us there. Or you got to separate yourself and God will isolate you before he elevates you. That's where these terms come from. Because God sees the poor mentality people, the poor character people, the poor psychological and spiritual people around you, right? They may have stuff, they may have things that attract you, but in the inside, once they get close to you, once they get near you, once they get inside your circle, inside your heart, that's when the toxicity comes out. That's when you're giving them good energy, good ideas, commitment. You're giving them loyalty. You're giving them sometimes funds and financials, but you get nothing back. You get toxicity back. I was looking at one of my lives today. I was going through my other phone, and it's crazy. When I'll be going through my phone, when it'll be showing me history, pictures and stuff, and I'm looking at it, the more I separate myself from the old me, the more, and I'm talking about me mentally, like I'm not going in those type of places. I'm not doing those type of things. My brain is thinking on a higher level that it should have stayed on. And I think to myself, I separate myself from people that are not on that same wavelength, right? But then when I go back, everything I've gained and accumulated, I either lose it or I'm barely maintaining it when I go back to the parasite. So why do we do that, right? Why do we do that? Comfort, familiarity, and just like parasites, you get some of them up, and then you go back to doing that, eating that stuff or drinking that stuff that you were drinking or being around those things that got the parasites in you in the first place, and they get right back in you. So, and then you start over again, and you lose all the gains that you made in the past. Just like it is on the inside, just like it is on the outside. So when you go back to being around those things, around people that want to bring you down, right, and are just draining you, using you for this type of energy, right? You're like, why do I go back to that? Because you're familiar with that. Isolation sometimes is lonely and people can't handle it, right? I was thinking to myself today, actually got in a dispute, an argument kind of with someone. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I keep going through this? There's really no value I get out of the friendship or whatever you want to call it, besides, let me just be keeping real, sexual aspect, right? Just being friends with the person, I see the toxicity, the narcissisty in them, and it's always a one-sided affair. And they're so blinded by their own thing that they don't even see it. Don't hold themselves accountable for it. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't argue with this person. What do I even get out of this? Right? It's more, even when you get on the phone with them, it's all about them. And what you have to understand is you can recognize some of these people because it's all about them. Even the care that they show for you is really surface, just enough to keep you there, right? Just enough care, just like a job, just enough where you can live and you can survive, you can pay your bills. You go to work and they give you 2 days off on the weekend, but you need one of them to recover, right? These people in your life that are mentally poor, spiritually poor, let's call them bankrupt. Let's not just say poor. Let's say bankrupt. Spiritually and mentally bankrupt, right? A thing that is bankrupt needs to pull resources from somebody else, right? It needs to pull energy, finances, and resources, whatever, for somebody else. And that's what a lot of these people that are spiritually and mentally bankrupt are doing to you, chosen ones, because God has invested in you. You are a bank of light. So they pull your energy because they have nothing, right? And how do they get to you? Again, they look like something that you're familiar with, something that you like, something that you can build with, but in truth, they're really just a parasite, right? How do you tell? You pour into people and you get nothing back, but surface value level, right? Even when you hold a conversation with them, yeah, so what did you do? Blah, blah, blah. And then they cut you right back off and they're back talking about them. You spent 30 seconds on you. They really don't even care about your problem, right? They continue on. Oh, I need this. I need that. I can't pay this. And can I borrow this and borrow that, right? You pour into them, and then when you need it, they see you on in the street. They see you on social media. You hurt it, right? They don't even reach out to you. When they were in their time and they lost somebody or going through it, having troubles, family, having troubles job wise, having trouble relationship wise, you were the ear. Sometimes y'all even put in material value into it. But when it was your turn, nobody there. And again, just like I said, you can understand these bankrupt people, right? Because mentally and spiritually bankrupt people, they talk a lot, but the only time they really do anything is when it's more destructive to themselves, right? Majority of the time that they do anything is causing themselves more problems, causing themselves more issues. They don't really like to do anything constructive. Or if they do it for a minute. And then they're right back doing things that's negative. And their job and what they want to do is draw you in and take your energy, right? And you wonder to yourself, like, have y'all ever, is it just me? Or does anybody wonder, why do I keep going around these people? Every time I go around them, some foolishness, some bullcrap jump off, right? I'm always in some stuff when I'm with these people. We have a good time every now and then, but the majority of it is there. I'm always stuck. And when I need somebody, they're not there. I'm always having to dig myself out of holes, right? I always have to cry on my own pillow with no shoulders to cry on. But when people are going through it, I'm the shoulder to cry on, right? Am I the only one? No? Okay, maybe I am. Right? You wonder to yourself, why do I keep putting myself in this position? It's a verse in the Bible. Do not cast thy pearls to swine. What was he saying? And Jesus was saying that information, knowledge, love, joy, things that are resourceful to you, don't cast them to type of people that don't really care, right? Don't cast them to these spiritually bankrupt, mentally bankrupt people because you're not going to get anything out of it, right? They're going to take from you and then eventually you won't have anything to get because you're a psychological being. You're an emotional being, right? And they're just draining you of your emotion. Just like relationships. You're like, why do I keep going back to this person? This person beat me. This person down talk me. This person don't support me. They just take. Man or woman, right? And the beating don't even have to be physical. The mental beating sometimes worse than the physical beating. A lot of the times the mental beating starts happening before the physical beating, right? And you're like, why am I with them? Why do I care so much, right? And that is because the machine, the principalities of wickedness in high places, the spiritual warfare that's really going on, wants to keep you in a cycle of destruction. A cycle where you never get out of, and it can delay you or destroy you, right? And so you have to become mentally and spiritually wise enough to really let people go, really let toxic people go, right? No matter how pretty she is, no matter how handsome she is, no matter what rank they are in your family, grandma, grandpa, mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, second cousin, nephew Tommy. Not the real nephew Tommy, but you get what I'm saying. No matter how we day one, we grew up from whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's I've been knowing him since second grade and that. If the person is toxic, right? If it's not helping you grow, it's helping you slow or stop. Literally. If people, and you have to understand, A lot of people are there just for a season. And when their season passes, you have to leave them there. You have to stop reaching back, picking up the things that have been slowing you down and destroying you, especially once you recognize it. When God keeps showing you who people are, believe him. Believe him. There's a thing from mistake and habit, you know, when people habitually try to bring you down, when people habitually try to destroy you. It's a big difference from that and just, oh, I made a mistake, right? People that make a mistake, even if it's repetitive, and they're trying, you know, because you have to understand a lot of these things we do in habit. And so to break that habit, you have to continue to do things that are contrary to the habit that you started. Right? And so just like going to the gym, it's days that you're not going to want to go. It's days that it hurts, you're tired, you just don't feel like it, right? And so if you get into the habit of not going, because that's what you had, because if you didn't go to the gym before, it's going to be easier to stay in that habit of not going. And the first time becomes 2 days, becomes 3 days, now you ain't waiting a week, now you ain't waiting a month, now you ain't waiting for the rest of the year, right? The habit you try to create when you're trying to create good habits is pushing through it when it's painful. It's painful to be alone. It's painful not to be hanging out with your homies but they're no good for you. And the situation is no good for you. Or hanging out with your homegirls and your besties, but they're no good for you. And the situation is no good for you. They talking behind your back, but I'm going to just suck it up. I'm going to just forgive them. I'm going to still hang out with them, but I know they really don't like me. I know they're really jealous of me. I know when I go to this place, bad things happen to me. I know when I do this thing, bad things happen to me. It's fun for a moment, but it always turns out bad for me. Alcohol is a good suggestion, man. Right? But you have to understand that it's in your flesh to do these things that are contrary to, and it's as crazy as it sounds. Your flesh likes the things that are going to destroy you, right? Alcohol does what? Kill your liver, but a lot of people like to drink. Smoking does what? Tear up your lungs, but a lot of people smoke. All right? McDonald's, deadly poisonous, but people still like their nuggets and their cheeseburgers, right? So it takes discipline to stop. For me to stop going to McDonald's, I had to learn how to ride past the line. No matter how bad I wanted chicken nuggets, or how bad I wanted a Big Mac, I knew it was bad for me, right? I've seen it. So I know it's bad, but why is the line still full? No one's lying about what they're serving. They're serving you toxic, right? But the line is still full. So that's the poor mentality on a basic level, right? You know this girl ain't no good for you. You know this guy ain't no good for you, but you keep coming back. When they're gone, when you break up with them, you yearn for them, and you go back. Yeah, he might got some good D, man. Yeah, she might got some good P. But is it worth the problems? Is it worth the heartache? Is it worth what could happen to you? Is it worth being stuck in court because somebody lied on you? Is it worth being in a casket? Is it worth being in jail? Is it worth these things because of that? You know they toxic, right? Is it worth going around these family? Is it worth going around these friends where they put you in bad positions and you know they don't really like you? We blood, but they hate you. You put them on and they want to stab you in the back and they jealous of you. No, it was crazy. It was like I said, when I was going through my phone, I was just looking at some pictures. And I'm like, dang. And I just be on Facebook watching. And I really put money in some people's pockets, right? But they ain't had nothing. Man, can I get a gig? Can I get a job? I'm trying to make a couple dollars. Put them on update level. Got them, put them on chicks, put them on money, put them on everything. And I watch, and this is just from a promoter standpoint, so I want y'all to understand, just from throwing parties. This is a microcosm of it. These toxic people. And I remember other people that were on the party didn't want them involved in the party. Didn't want them to do certain jobs in the party. Didn't want them around. And then I fought for them. Certain people to have the things to even do the party, to even do their job in the party. Bought them things. Some people didn't even have transportation to get there. And I watched them on social media. I watched them be friends with their enemy. Praise the people that don't even like them, right? Praise the people that wanted to get them don't even like nothing I do, right? Anytime I post something, got something negative to say. And so these you got to understand, right? When people reveal themselves to you that they are the parasite, it's like when the parasites in your body reveal themselves that they are. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Augustine? When they reveal, what's up, Abel? When they reveal themselves that they are a parasite, so your stomach starts. It's just like when your stomach start hurting. Oh, my stomach start hurting. I got no energy. My poop hard and all this stuff. All these things, right? When you recognize something's wrong, you have to treat it, right? So when you start realizing, I got parasites, y'all on social media, and you see the worms in your body, and they're talking about walnut shells and black seed oil or oregano oil and all these things, you're gonna go get it because you want to get this thing that's affecting you in the wrong way, in a negative way, out of you, right? It's the same thing when God reveals to you that the people around you are mentally bankrupt, are spiritually bankrupt, right? They're coming from a poor mentality. And if you're just jumping on, the poor mentality I'm talking about is not financial. It's poor ethics. It's poor accountability. It's poor everything about it is just poor. They don't have no remorse, no empathy. That's bankrupt. That's spiritually, that's mentally bankrupt people. And we keep going back around them. These my friends, but they talk behind my back, right? These my friends, but every time they get together and I'm not there, they got something to say. He showed me that he jealous of me, right? But they my friends. They who I get drunk with. They who I party with. They come to the birthday, you got a party, they don't show up. But they want you at theirs. That's a good one for y'all. They got something going on. They want you to be right there, but they never there to support you. And when they do, they're there to sabotage it. They're there to tear it up. You got the new car. Can I borrow it? Tear your car up. Now you ain't got no car either. Now you back to just being like them. In your face, oh man. But behind your back, they happy. Because you back down to their level. I done seen that a lot of times with my own eyes. Right? You can be doing good, but just not better than them. Right? Literally. People that you done fed, people that you done put on, people that you done loved on, people that you was there for when nobody was there for, when it was your turn to need somebody, wasn't there for you. You done seen it, but you keep going back. You have to get to a level of maturation where you cool with being by yourself. Right? I'd rather be by myself than be with people or things that are destroying me, right? What's the point of being alive for the party is your life could end. It could cost you your life. Or being praised by a bunch of snakes in your face, but they hate you behind your back. They hate your guts behind your back. Long as it's benefiting them, they there. Don't believe me? Dig Nipsey up and ask him. Don't believe me? Ask Young Duff. So you have to understand that these people, these parasites, these people sites, all right, they're there for your destruction. But you got to stop putting yourself in places and things that'll put you there. You have to become knowledgeable enough that no matter what they do, I'm going to just continue to elevate. Right? I'm not going to even negotiate with myself. It's like I said, what's the point of arguing with a fool? Nobody around can tell who was who. You can't make delusional people understand reason and logic. Some point of arguing with a fool. Not going to understand you. So when you recognize this in people, right, and you trying to keep truth to them, wisdom to them, they don't want to hear it. Like I told you, a good way to understand and recognize these people, right, is that they talk a lot, but they do little when it comes to benefiting themselves in a positive way, right? They'll talk all day. I'm gonna do this year, and I'm gonna go back to school, or I'm gonna invest in this, and I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna fix my credit. I'm gonna work on this, and I'm gonna get a job this year. I'm gonna get a car this year. I'm gonna do all these things, and then when it gets to it, nothing. But they'll go fight. They'll go shoot. They'll go buck anything or get smashed or get cracked. They'll do all those things. But when it comes to something, they'll go drink. They'll go party. But when it comes to doing something constructive, it's all talk. Even if it's even talk anymore. The society has broken down so bad you don't even hear positive. I went with my youngins the other day, just riding around with them. And the reason I did it is because I told myself, how can I get on these podcasts, right? And talk to y'all, people I don't know. And I don't put this type of energy, focused energy, on into people I do know, right? Because I remember coming up, I knew positive people, but the people that were directly around me never taught me how to get to the next level. Let's put it like that. And I had those type of people around me. I had rich people around me. I had people that was up, people getting it back. But it was all doing destructive stuff that either cost them their lives, cost them their freedom, or they don't have it no more, most of them. And the ones that do, gatekeep. So I was like, dang, I got to be different than that. You know what I'm saying? So I went with my youngest. And the main one, we was talking, he had came across some money a couple times. And most recently, ran through it. I said, what was you doing? I was at the casino. I lost this, lost that. When I get this next one, I need to get on. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this. So you're going to do the same thing you did. Well, what did you get? Well, I got a car. Tore it up. It's messed up. Got some jewelry. Was at the club popping. All things that people do. I did the same thing. That's why I'm a thousandaire, not a millionaire. So, but I told him, I said, well, the next time you come around, instead of put your money to get this back straight, right? When the bag come around again next time, get you some properties, get you some buildings, you know, Hellcats and all that crap can wait. Get you something that's going to return on your money. Because one of the things you got to understand is, if you get money and you don't make your money work for you, it's going to run out. How's that possible? Bills, expenses, life are going to take away from money that's not flowing. That's why it's called currency. It's meant to flow, right? No matter how much you try to stack it on the pillow, put it in the bank, something's going to come around that's going to take away from it. The moth and the cankerworm. The devourer is going to come eat it up if you don't make your money work for you. You make your money work for you, you can go get all the other stuff. But the first thing you need to start doing is making money make money. If you don't do that, you're always going to be caught in the cycle of poverty, right? So in the midst of our discussion, he convinced me, go out, hang with the fellas. Now, mind you, I look like their age, but I'm not their age. And I let myself go out because I just wanted to be free for a minute because I ain't been going out. Just wanted to be free for a minute. Boy, was that a mistake. Nothing happened, but just being in the environment of something that could happen. Actually, nothing happened when I was there because I took my butt home. Something happened later. And I hope who it happened to watches this video. I just shot you out a second ago when I seen what you was going to get, and you don't even know how to use it. And you posted to your ops talking to the store people that you didn't know what you was doing. Crazy work. I hope you can get this video because I kind of wanted to make this video and you were on my mind when I was making this video or this topic. Just stay away from the environments that are getting you in negative shit and stay away from the people that are getting you in negative stuff. How are you out with the people and getting jumped? No one's helping. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But how are you out and you constantly getting into stuff? Obviously, you shouldn't go out. At least here. You stay away from me because the result of bankrupt mentality or bankrupt spiritually, Instead of fixing the action positive, you're going to fix the action poorly, where you're going to have to do something to somebody, or somebody's going to do something to you because of what? You want to be seen by people that ain't doing much better or doing nothing for you. You celebrating what? Right? People that don't even like you, apparently. And not just talking to them. I hope you see this, so you know that's wisdom. Why even be there? And before you knew something happened to you, I heard about it, didn't know it was you, and I'm like, that person needs to stay out of the club because the last time I was out months ago, something happened to you. But do y'all see what I'm saying? And even myself, when I got there, and I'm just figuring like, okay, this is time for me to really kick it with them, hang out, and highlight why you shouldn't be or hang around certain people. So we go to this spot, and I'm kicking it with him. Same thing I told him, I told the rest of them. You got to move wiser because your 20s turn you to your 30s and your 40s real fast. And then you will see the people in their 50s and 60s that blew all the opportunities they had. I could never be mad at God about getting advanced in my life because the opportunities came. But a lot of the times I would go back to the poor mentality, right? The bankrupt mentality and do something that people that are spiritually, mentally bankrupt do. And why I said these are habits, right? Because when I went to the party, I'm drunk. I can't even remember how long I got drunk. What did I do? Get back into that. Start spending more money, buying other people's stuff. And I'm here. What I do? Like $250 in like a half an hour. And what did I gain from it? Nothing. Nothing. Nobody in there that I want to talk to on that type of level. We could have did the same thing if that's what I chose to do at my house, and it would have been safe. But then I got to see just how bankrupt the mentality of the people around me was. I seen all types of weapons getting into this place, people I was with. And I'm like, wow, so if you getting yours in here, that means everyone else getting theirs in there. It's time to go. Yep. So go, another spot. You ain't coming back? No, take me home. Y'all should go home too. And the same logic. You have to understand, you putting yourself in dangerous situations every time you go around these parasitic, poor-minded, or spiritually bankrupt and mentally bankrupt people. And it's going to cost you a lot more than you're going to ever gain from being around this type of shit. I never got rich partying in the club. And when I got smart enough, like, I'm a party, I might as well get paid for it. I still lost in the end. I lost good situations. I lost good relationships that one of the best ones that I could ever say that I have to think about it like, damn, I really messed that up because I didn't give up the party life. I could have did something else or even used the money that I was making to make me more money. Yeah, I had the nice cars. Yeah, I had the nice clothes. Yeah, I had the nice this, right? But I was investing in my own destruction. And that's what you do when you stay around people with the bankrupt mentality and bankrupt spiritually and bankrupt emotionally, right? Because they have nothing to give you. They can only take from you, right? How can someone that's emotionally, mentally bankrupt give you anything? They don't have anything. They don't have anything. So what are they looking to do? Take, right? There are no loans in the spirit and mental realm. So all they can do is take, right? And where are they going to deposit? Back into another situation that's spiritually and mentally bankrupt. So you get the cycle. You get the cycle of things that are just leading to your own destruction. And just like what I was telling you, if you watch this, and I'm sure you will because you told me about my series, you're just not on here now. The result of mentally bankrupt is like, you can really tell when the decisions and the action they make, they talk a lot. Spiritually and mentally bankrupt people talk a lot, right? But they act very little. And usually, 99% of the time, their only actions are to do something that makes their situation worse or destroys it. I've seen what you posted. You're not scaring your opposition with what you posted, right? But what you're going to do is bring more attention that way. So if they catch you lacking, you've already showed them what you want to do. You already know this town. No one's afraid of those things, right? But when they come for you the next time, they're going to be expecting you to have that. You just showed them in the second live or second post that you don't even know how to use what you got. So they're going to try to take it from you, or they're going to be ready to up on you and end you. Or if you do learn, you're going to have to hurt somebody because you want to be out in a situation that shows you time and time again that you shouldn't be there. So I'm directly talking about what I'm talking about now to focus on you. I don't want to see nothing happen to you. All right? Same for y'all. We'll move back to this camera. It's the same thing in a microcosm. You keep going back to people that are showing you that they're toxic, that are showing you that they don't mean you no good, that are showing you that their character is bankrupt, their mentals are bankrupt, they're emotionally bankrupt, and they're spiritually bankrupt. You keep pouring into them, and you keep getting nothing out of them. They keep showing you that they're a living human parasite, but you keep going back because you don't want to be alone. And it's not even that you're being alone, right? There's other people, and they're far few in between, right? But there's other people that are going to genuinely love you, that are going to genuinely support you, that are going to genuinely be behind you, and are going to generally have morals and standards, right? That they're not going to betray you or stab you in the back. But we don't look for them. Like I said, a lot of us want pretty and painful, handsome and headache, family, friends that are fuck people, right? It's my blood. That's my boy. That's my girl. My homie. Grew up with them forever. And they literally hate you. Hate your guts. Literally hate your guts. The story I just told you with the people. One of them is my blood. One of them is somebody I looked up to growing up. They'll fanboy everybody else. See them with their own ops. No love this one. And I literally put food in their literally food in their mouths, transportation, all these things. So you gotta understand that. And then when I understood, like when I moved out here, I separated myself from a lot of the things and the people that I used to be with. My life turned up. Turned up. Just like it would if you got rid of a real parasite. So once you take the cleansers, right? And you get away from the things that got the parasites in your body in the first place, and you get around the right food and the right meals and the right regimen, your life turn up. It's the same thing with these human parasites, right? You think you miss them, you might miss the chocolate, you might miss the whatever, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the Popeyes, all those things that was bad for you, putting these bad things in you, right? You might miss it at first, right? But when you start putting yourself around the things that are beneficial to you, you're going to start seeing the gains. You're going to start seeing your health. You're going to start seeing your energy raise, right? It's the same thing with the people, the physical people parasites, right? When you start getting away from them, you start putting yourself around people that can elevate you, that can elevate you mentally, right? That can stimulate your mind, that can stimulate you spiritually, right? You're going to see your life take off. But if you keep going back to the things that got you, that were keeping you from being who you want to be, you're going to always fall back into that, right? You're going to keep taking steps backwards and never achieving what you're trying to achieve, right? And if you do, it's going to take you down. The bankrupt mentality, and we changed it from the poor mentality. If y'all got on here and y'all seen the title, poor mentality, we changed it to bankrupt. Because I don't want people to think it's just about finances. It's really not about finances. Like I said, rich people have bankrupt mentality. They were talking about it today. player for the Lions, right? He didn't have nothing to do with the situation. Some of his peoples were involved in a alleged kidnapping and all these things, right? And they were talking about it on the radio today. How when you get to a certain level, or you're trying to get to a certain place, and certain people around you, certain cliques around you, certain people, friends, places, uh, spouses, relationships, whether it's intimate or family or friends, that you have to separate yourself from. You have to separate yourself from the things that are still causing you to be at that level, at that lower level, and stopping you from elevating to the levels, the next level, or the level you're trying to be. And you'll notice that's why when you're successful, or when you're trying to be successful, or when you're trying to be the best version of you, people will fall off, or things that happen to separate you from people. That's God showing you. Just like you got oregano and black seed oil and all these chemicals, right, or all these herbs to go in your body to cleanse you, right? God doing the same thing. You're doing a spiritual cleansing on you, right? He putting you in situations where you have to see what these people are. I see it. But this person no good for me. This place is no good for me. This thing is no good for me, right? He's cleansing it away from you, just like the oregano will. You know what I'm saying? He's showing you that these are things that are stopping you from becoming the best version of you, right? It's up to you not to go back to it. So I was reading the Ethiopian Bible last night, right? And if you haven't, get it. Don't get the one with small print. Don't get the one I got. It's got small print. I'll be sitting in there. I got to put glass on my damn. I have to use my phone to read it. But the Book of Jubilees, you probably get this off your phone, right? So the Book of Jubilees. So God told an angel to speak to Moses, right? Tell Moses all the history of the earth. This is when Moses was on the Mount Sinai, right? So he told him, tell Moses everything that happened, the whole history of man, from Adam and on. So this angel was telling Moses what was going on. He gets to the part after the flood, and Noah and his sons is around. That's it. And their wives, right? And the devil was there. And so the spirits of the Nephilim, the giants, the angels that came and had sex with the daughters of men and had these giants, right? God killed them. He sent the angels to kill them. But their spirits are still around. These are the demons. Now I'm telling y'all some deep stuff real quick. I'm going to shorten it up. But I want to get to this part. I'm telling you this to tell you this. So it's only a few people. And now mind you, the angel is having story time with Moses on the mountain before he gives Moses the 10 commandments to take down and get to the people. But he's telling Moses the history of the world from Adam to right now. And so he says, this is why the flood happened, but the spirits of the Nephilim, it became the demons. They couldn't go to heaven, they couldn't go to earth because they were part of both worlds. They came from celestial beings, angels, and had sex with women, and so they couldn't go nowhere. So the spirits running around today. And so I'm like, I'm reading this book. I'm like, okay, I've heard the story. I bought it because I thought it was going to get a lot deeper. But then I realized I was missing something. I was still in a low vibrational mind. So I was like, dang, I'm missing parts. It even told the devil's real name, and I didn't realize it at that moment. It's like, I'm like, wait a minute. It just said the devil's real name. And then so the part I was missing was that they started having kids. Noah and his son's wives started having kids, started repopulating the earth. But the devil said, let me keep some of these demons, because the demons when the people started populating, the demons wanted to cause more problems. This is what we have the problems today. So the devil said, Noah prayed to God to get rid of all the demons. The devil asked God to keep 10% of the demons so he can fuck with man, basically. So he could tempt man and make man fall. And he told him, you say I could do this until my day of judgment when you throw me in a pit of fire, but I can't corrupt man without help. Look what the devil said in this That was the first time they referred to Satan as Satan. They was calling him by his real name. And so I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because the majority of the people that just saw or knew about God destroying the earth, it's only them. It's Noah, his sons, and the few kids that he just had started having more kids. And they already started being bad again. Literally. So Noah again and one of his sons and were the only good people already. Like God just killed, still probably corpses already all over the ground or whatever from the first flood, and y'all back to being bad again. So as it's showing the generations of Noah, right? So each one of these kids is having kids, but this kid will be worse than the other one. And the angel's telling the story. I'm like, well, damn. And it's only a few good people. But the few good people was enough for God not to wipe out everybody again or do something crazy, right? What you have to understand is, why am I telling you this? The world is full of low vibrational parasitic people, right? However, you have to connect yourself when you different mentally, when you different spiritually. You have to seek out those good people, because the few good people can do more than what the gigantic amount of evil people can do if they just apply themselves. One of the children was influenced by his brother to do evil, and he became drastically evil. I don't want to get into the story. Go get the Ethiopian Bible for yourself. Read the Book of Jubilees, right? But what I'm telling you is this. The wickedness started because the people of the light let the darkness and the parasites influence them till it got so bad that the world is full of the same shit you see today. It didn't just start out of nowhere. It literally started a few years after they got off the ark, which is crazy because you just saw God destroy the earth, and then you still go back to doing wickedness and evil. And then by the time the angel got maybe 50, 60 something years into when Noah actually died, the earth it had a pretty good amount of people. And before Noah died, he had to pray again to God to forgive him, because he really, and his one son Shem, was really some of the only good people left, right? So, as a chosen one, as people of the light, you have to understand, you are few, but you are powerful. And you have to stop giving yourself over to parasitic, bankrupt mentally, bankrupt emotionally, bankrupt spiritual people, because they will corrupt your light and it will bring you down every time. And that is what the machine, Satan, I'm going to start calling him by the name they called him in the Book of Jubilees. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that might trigger something. You have to understand that's what it wants you to do. It doesn't want you to be the best version of yourself. And if you do, it wants to take you down, right? It wants to take you down at the height of your success. If it can't destroy you at the bottom, it will love to take you down at the height of your success. When you see these people go back to doing things that they shouldn't be, right? If Agent Orange, the guy, the press, if he goes down, as rich as he is, he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire before he became the press. And I'm talking like this because of algorithms. Before he came the press, right? But if he goes down for what was exposed, right? That's the height of his success. It will affect millions and millions of people, right? It's a 2-for-1 win for the machine. It's a 2-for-1 win for their masters. I'm not rooting for them. I'm just being honest with you. When you see Drewski, when he made that skit about the pastors, right? It was a pastor out here in Taylor. They were scamming people for $50 They got $55 million out of these people in different states, right? They're exposed. When the TD Jakes gets exposed, when the Creflo Dollars and all these pastors, what was that lady name? I forget her name with the blonde hair, short hair in Texas. The Joel Osters, when they get exposed, you don't even hear about these people no more. When they get exposed, right? Thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people, right? Go down with them. Because now the people. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. TikTok's been an hour. Oh, really killing me with this puzzle. There we go. Thousands of people go down with them. Thousands of people no longer believe in God. Thousands of people believe it's a scam. Even if they still believe in God, they believe they can't trust anybody. They can't go to church anymore. It was just what he said, right? And why did that happen? Because those people gave themselves over to going back to wrong people that was bankrupt spiritually, bankrupt mentally, and bankrupt emotionally. And they got themselves caught up in it and they got themselves corrupted. That's all that these parasites want to do, is keep you in toxic environments and toxic situations so they can either delay your purpose, delay your calling, or destroy you in it. All right? Destroy you in it. And you wonder, why do I keep going back to these people? Because they mean me no good. Love, loneliness, a lack of self-love. Because you obviously don't know yourself. If I told you, just think about it with some of these relationships that you have with people that mean you no good, mean you harm. They done everything under the sun to betray you, to backstab you, to leave you hanging, to leave you out to dry. And you showed them love, kindness, compassion. When they was down and out, you was there for them, right? But they talk to you crazy. Can't depend on them for nothing, none of that. Now imagine those people. Now let me explain it like this. If you had cancer, right, and I took it out and I threw it on the ground, would you go back and eat it and put it back inside you? Cancer probably don't even work that way where it could reinfect you like that, but would you do it? No, of course not. So why do you go back to these people, places, and things that have been destroying you, have been cancer to everything that you're trying to do? Why would you? And then you wonder, and you know it. Every time I'm around these people, every time I go back to this place, every time I do this thing, whatever, it's destroying. Quit letting and allowing yourself to be tricked on a not even a physical level. It's a spiritual level that you're being tricked on. Because I just told you, where the devil himself asks God to not kill all the demons so they can tempt you and corrupt mankind, men and women too. It's a spiritual level that y'all playing on. And it wants you to be toxic. It wants to destroy you. It wants you to never fulfill your purpose so it can have accusation against you. All right? So you can never fulfill your purpose. So you can always feel lower than what you are, or what you truly know you are, or who you really know you are. It wants you to be that way. It wants to put these things in front of you to destroy you. All right? Man vs. Machine. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Remember that. The next time you want to go back to some bullshit situations, bullshit people, remember that. Why? Would you go back to cancer? Would you? No, you wouldn't. No one in their right mind would. All right. Man vs. Machine. I'll check y'all out on the next one.